So there's a lot of drama going on with Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor, as most people know, is wanting to come back and fight on the White House card, the UFC White House card that's going to take place on June 14th on America's 250th birthday. It's an honor, it's a prestige, it's kind of like for a lot of fighters, this could be like a swan song. This could be kind of like, at the end of their, legacy, their career. And this is just kind of like the icing, or the cherry on top, I guess, in terms of the career, what they've been able to accomplish. And they just want to kind of go out and do it in probably one of the biggest, probably one of the most historic and symbolic events that's probably going to happen in combat sports, right? I mean, just imagine fighting in an octagon and the backdrop is the White House. And there you've got President Trump, you've got his administration, you've got foreign dignitaries, you got, billionaires and millionaires and maybe even trillionaires. I don't know, but this is kind of like what anyone who's in MMA wants to be there and wants to be on that card. So Conor McGregor, there's still kind of up in the air as to whether he's going to fight on that card, and if he is going to fight, who he's going to fight. There's been rumors about Michael Chandler. He's been calling out anyone and everyone and hoping that one of those kind of whatever you throw to the wall kind of sticks, and that's what he's kind of hoping for. He's been calling out Alexander Volkanovski. He actually called Alexander Volkanovski a little bro, and MMA fans on social media just let him have it. All right, not because of the trash talk, but because of what it represents. Because right now, Volkanovski's an active MMA combatant. He's respected, and this guy is still fighting like the creme of the creme. He's fighting the best, the most elite fighters that are out there. So when you're a fighter that's not active in the scene and you're wanting to come back, the last thing that you do is disrespect a current active fighter. Now, there's trash talk, but then there's disrespect. And a lot of fight fans around the world thought that Conor McGregor's tweets and words towards Volkanovski was more on the disrespect side as opposed to just trash talking. So, what about Conor? Well, as I mentioned, he hasn't fought in years, okay? Just kind of like the classic McGregor bravado, right? I mean, he is like, nobody really knows what level he's at. But the fact is that he's not the king of his division anymore. All right. He's done some movies. He tried to run. He was attempting to run for the presidency of Ireland, but then he decided to drop that. He's had some legal problems, that's for sure. But anyways, guys, well, let's get into this. Let's kind of break this down and talk about what exactly is going on. So welcome back, guys. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. And look, yes, guys, I mean, the situation between Conor McGregor, Alexander Volkanovski is hitting the fan, and it's at a completely different level, and it's bigger than a tweet. Yes. Now, here's what went down. Alexander Volkanovski, he's publicly supported Conor McGregor potentially fighting on the proposed UFC White House card. Okay, he's like, when asked about it, he's like, yeah, he should be given an opportunity, the right to and that's telling you a lot from a guy who's fighting, who's active, and he's talking about somebody who's kind of like past, not present, but not active in the scene anymore, right? Usually, current fighters are going to be propping up current fighters, not retired ones. But Volk said if Conor is on that card, then he has to headline. That's a lot of respect, right? I mean, it wouldn't make sense otherwise. But then again, I've been talking about this, guys. If you watched my last video, I've been talking about, or the second last video, I've been talking about how John Jones is in negotiations right now with the UFC, and that's been confirmed. And how Alex Pereira, who was the lightweight champion, light heavyweight champion, has relinquished his belt. So he's vacated his belt, and because he's been flirting with the opportunity and the idea of going heavyweight, because now he's not talking about fighting at 185 pounds anymore. He's talking about fighting at 243. That's the weight that Alex Pereira is at right now. And so meanwhile, Dana White decided to say, okay, you know what? I got to have a fight for the vacant light heavyweight championship title. I'm going to have Prochaska versus Ulberg, and they're going to be fighting for that belt for the vacant light heavyweight championship title. I think that's phenomenal, and that was quick, guys. That happened. All of that happened pretty much at the same time. John Jones confirming he's actually talking with the UFC and negotiating a return to the UFC White House card, and Alex Pereira relinquishing, vacating his title, wanting to move up to heavyweight, and then of course Dana White calling saying that Ulberg and Prochaska are going to be able to fight for that title. So then what happens with John Jones? Who does he fight? Well, there's been a lot of speculation, but it seems like all eyes are pointing towards John Jones and Alex Pereira, potentially El Potan, to go head to head. And that, guys, that would be unbelievable, because Potan has expressed his interest in wanting to win a third divisional title. That would cement his legacy 100% as pound for pound. Probably not even pound for pound, but probably one of the best MMA fighters in this era. If he can pull that off, guys, and if he can do it and do it in grand fashion, grand style, I think that would be unbelievable. And John Jones just wants to close a chapter, I think, in his book and actually officially retire, but he wants to do it with one more fight. So this would be intense, guys. And if that would be the headliner, if that would headline the UFC White House card, John Jones versus Alex Pereira, then where do you fit Conor McGregor? Is he the co-main event? But then if he's the co-main event, then what do you say about guys like Hamza Shemaev or Arman Sarukian or Ilya Topuria, or like some of these other guys? Where do they fall into this? Are they just like co-main events? So anyways, guys, I mean, yeah, but Conor McGregor to headline the event, it would make sense. It's not disrespect. I mean, I think that's an acknowledgement of his star power, his celebrity status, but more so about his previous MMA skills and achievements. And I think he earns that, right? I don't know. Conor's response, I mean, yeah, I mean, with all the nice things that Volk had to say about Conor, Conor replied by saying, "Thanks, little bro." That's it. That's it. And instantly the internet just exploded. But you know what? On the flip side, why does Conor have to write a full page article response, or like, I mean, maybe he was busy, maybe he was at an event, maybe he was doing something, and he did, at that moment he saw that and he responded. I mean, I don't think people should read into it as heavily as they are. I think that's a little ridiculous, but I mean, who knows? I mean, this is social media, guys, and people say and do what they please. Anyways, guys, look, people are flooding the comments. Some people are saying, you know what? They're talking to Conor McGregor. They're saying Volk would cook you, man. Volk would smoke Conor. He's better at 37 than you ever were. And I mean, there was a lot of like there wasn't a lot of playful trash talk in their eyes. I mean, it felt like, honestly, I mean, the stuff that I'm reading, it felt a little bit dismissive, to be honest. And look, Volkanovski, I mean, is everything fans respect right now about, not only about combat sports, about MMA, but about the division, about the UFC, and about the man himself, Volkanovski. He's definitely a phenom. He's active, he's disciplined, he's got that mindset, that champion mindset type of mentality that's made him so successful over the years, and he's still fighting elite competition, guys. Unbelievable. He's still fighting elite competition. Conor, on the other hand, hasn't won since 2020, guys, and hasn't looked like a prime Conor since like 2016. And you guys remember that fight between him and Mayweather. But anyways, guys, he says little bro, and that's it, right? I mean, anyways, it doesn't really land the same anymore. But anyhow, look, this isn't about hurt feelings, guys. This is about like I think a shift of power potentially, or the power, the shift of like the dynamics that's happening within the UFC. I mean, for years, guys, for the for as long as I could remember, Conor's been that kind of a fighter where he's been able to just kind of tell it like it is. He was able to say anything he wanted, and the fans would back it up. They would back it up. But now it seems that Conor's aura is kind of fading, right? Do you guys get that? Is that something? I mean, look, the sport has evolved like nobody's business, right? The divisions are getting deeper. The weight classes are improving. I mean, champions like Volkanovski have built their legacy, literally their legacy through activity, not through spectacle style fighting, guys. Volkanovski is one of those true warriors who grinds it out each and every time he gets the opportunity to in the octagon. Blood, sweat, and tears have all rolled off of this guy in that octagon, and he leaves it all behind there. There's no ambiguity when it comes to his fight. No, like, could it have gone this way? Could it have gone that way? He does what he's supposed to in that cage. All right. And now fans are starting to measure his greatness a lot more differently, because when you compare Volk to the rest of the competition, I mean, it's like night and day. It's like night and day. And you know what's amazing about this guy? What's really amazing about Volk is that he is super respectful. He's a classy guy. You can't hate this guy. There's nothing you could say negative about this guy. He's a good guy. Anyways, let's talk about the real business layer in all of this here, right? I mean, the UFC White House card is unfathomable, guys. I mean, a couple years ago, a few years ago, it's a pipe dream. People were laughing when it was being brought up. I wasn't even getting any views, guys, when I was talking about in the early months when I was talking about the White House card, because nobody believed me. Nobody thought this was actually going to go down, right? And then when to top it all off, the idea of Conor McGregor returning to the UFC to headline one of the most historic, symbolic events that's going to happen at the in combat sports. Technically at the White House, but in combat sports. I mean, from a promotional standpoint, guys, I mean, look, Ariel Helwani had recently, I mean, he made some comments about this, and he said the White House card, highly unlikely. I mean, he said that there's a greater chance of McGregor uh, fighting, like, in International Fight Week, perhaps maybe on July 11th, maybe in Las Vegas or something along those lines. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's something about the White House that people think there's still a little bit of I guess what's the word that I'm looking for? A little bit of uncertainty, right? I mean, you also got to look at all the things that are kind of going on in the world right now with all the geopolitical tension that's happening. We're in a war right now as well too. I mean, there's a lot that's going on right now. So there's a lot of reasons why people may not necessarily or well, you can't really blame people for thinking that this fight is not actually going to happen, right? Maybe for security reasons, it won't happen now. I don't know. I know that, I mean, ever since this past week, things have shifted a little bit, changed a little bit, and maybe they're starting to rethink things a little bit. But for as it stands right now, it does seem like this is going to happen, right? And look, I mean, it could be a little bit of spectacle, but I mean, you have legit there's a lot of potential fights that are happening here. Khamzat Chimaev might be taking on Sean Strickland. Sean O'Malley wants to be on this card, but he claims that he hasn't heard anything. I mean, there's a lot of interesting storylines that are kind of coming out of this, right? McGregor, also, you have to remember, this guy's not just a fighter anymore. This guy is a brand. He's his own business. He's like a financial event. When he fights, he needs to generate revenue. So International Fight Week at the T-Mobile Arena, I mean, yeah, that makes kind of financial sense, but what makes bigger sense than that and more economic sense is having McGregor at the UFC White House on the UFC White House card. I'm not talking about a guest appearance of Conor McGregor and sitting next, side by side with Dana White and maybe President Trump. I'm talking about Conor McGregor actually competing in the cage, right? And look, that's called leverage, call it power dynamics, call it whatever you want, but that's the thing. So the real question comes down to is who? I don't even think it's a matter of if Conor McGregor is going to be fighting at the UFC White House card or on the UFC White House card. I think it's just who. It's not even when, because we know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen on June 14th. But who is Conor McGregor going to fight? That's the big question. That's the question that everybody is asking. And more importantly, does he still beat elite fighters at 155 or 170 pounds? Because based on the public reaction, based on what people are saying on social media, a lot of fans think that Volk would cook Conor McGregor. So if this fight actually goes down between Conor McGregor and Volkanovski, guys, fireworks are going to erupt. I'm not talking about the fireworks that are going to happen behind the White House. There's going to be fireworks erupting out of that cage, out of that octagon, guys. It's going to be absolutely intense. And look, the Twitter drama is happening, social media, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, YouTube, Kick. Everybody who's anybody is talking about this potential fight between Conor McGregor and a would-be named candidate opponent, but a lot of people are thinking it could be Volk. Actually, it could be Volk. I mean, Volk represents the modern-day fighter, and he's active, he's disciplined, he's consistent, and he's hungry, and he wants to prove. It almost seems like every time Volk goes out there, he's always having to prove himself. Always. People, I don't know why, I feel, this is just my opinion, sometimes I feel like he's not given a credit where credit is due, okay? I feel like people are always still underestimating this guy's talent. And, I get it. Conor McGregor, he's a celebrity status level, man. He's got massive star power. He's got that, he likes to control the narrative, and he's got that psychological warfare type of, kind of attitude. He knows how to play the game, and nobody does it better than the notorious one himself. But a star power without recent wins, guys, starting to feel a little bit hollow to me. And fans are watching, and they're putting him on notice. So, guys, when Conor says little bro, it's not just trash talk. It's a reminder that he still sees himself as the real apex predator. And the question really comes down to is, does the division still see Conor McGregor as the apex predator? Do they still fear him? Is he loathed? What is he to others? What is he to the fan base? What is he to the fighters? What is he to the division, to the organization, and to the world of MMA, to combat sports in itself? It's not just going to be about winning here, man. This is going to be about proving to everybody that he is still on top, and he wants to be on top, sitting on that throne atop of the division alone as the king. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. Does Conor still have it? Or would Volkanovski really cook this guy? Would Volk really cook him? Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this breakdown, please make sure to smash the like and subscribe. Hit the notifications so you guys never miss a beat. And I look forward to catching you guys in tomorrow's video.